1280 KIT, news and information. Why, that's what we do, and that's what we're about too. On the phone with us, Yakima County Commissioner Vicki Baker. Good morning, County Commissioner.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. Crazy as always and doing our thing. Waiting to hear from the real movers and shakers, and by golly, here you are. What do you have for us this morning? How are things?
Well, I just thought I would call in this morning because, I heard you searching for a little bit of good news, and we had a tiny little baby step yesterday. So I thought, it was buried in a story in the Herald, and it had a lot of other things in the story, but it didn't call attention to the positive details in there. So I thought, hey, I'm going to call in and give you a little tiny bit of good news. And it's not anything for you to throw in your party hat. So I'm sorry, it's not one of those huge celebration moments, but as you know, I've asked the state to use special criteria for Yakima County because we are open and essential and different, and he has agreed that that is a fact, that we have been unable to shut down through any of this because of who we are. And we're very different from King County, obviously, so I just didn't think it was fair we'd be measured the same way. The governor has agreed to that, and so we've also been talking to our health officer about that same concern. And the fact that, we're all at the end of our rope and exhausted with this. So we yesterday had our Board of Health meeting. Our health officer, Dr. Everson, said for the first time publicly that she was preparing an application for a phase change in Yakima County. I don't want everybody to get too excited because preparation is just, is great news, but it's, just the first step. She's not going to submit the application to the Board of Health quite yet because their numbers are still not safe. But she did say our application will include revised standards, those things that we've been talking about. And the firm criteria the governor had posted on the risk assessment dashboard, we've all been watching like hawks, hoping and praying for those numbers, for us to hit those numbers. That dashboard had given us very little hope about moving for a phase change. So it's the application, takes a lot of time to prepare. It's a good thing that she's doing that application. There's a lot of things on the to-do list of that application process. So, it's good we're checking those things off the to-do list and getting it done so that immediately when we reach those new negotiated standards, we'll be ready to call an emergency Board of Health meeting and submit that application right away. Those details are being worked out behind the scenes. So I really want to be able to give you the firm scoreboard numbers so you can watch them just like everybody wants to be able to do. I can't give you those numbers, so I'm sorry about that. But I did want to share the baby step because I think it gives some light at the end of the tunnel. And, we can recognize that, we'll be able to move forward with some special consideration because of who Yakima County is as open and essential. And, our businesses can't wait. And, we're losing more of them every week. And, I've been pushing for safe reopening. It's going to be safe. We have to do it. Not giving up on that. So here's another little bit of good news maybe. I talked before about the Commissioner's $2.8 million in grants, and we're going to be mailing out to all the businesses in the county the information about that grant program. And encourage everybody who's COVID affected to apply for that assistance. The details will be in that letter, so watch your mailbox. And I'm just hoping it provides a Band-Aid that will keep everybody through while we hold on a little bit longer to try to get our numbers down, and we'll be ready to submit that application as soon as we are there.
Well, it is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm of the news generation where when your mama says she loves you, check it out. That's so let me ask you this. Was it the governor's visit that helped to convince Dr. Everson that we should be looked at differently? Didn't our own circumstance and hue and cry, and she's our health officer, should that not have motivated her to lobby on our behalf to the governor, or is that what happened? You have any sort of insight into because there's a lot of I think heartburn over whether the doc is truly working for us or working for the governor.
Yeah, she's been taking a lot of arrows, and I think she has been in negotiations with the state as well, and as we have, and I heard her say, she recognizes the situation here very well, and I think she would like to help us find that pathway. She said that.
Has she seen that because of postcards, or has she actually been here?
Oh no, she's been here.
Thought I'd throw that in.
I understand completely. And in her defense too, she was selected back in 2018. I think, she was highly qualified and selected by the Board of Health at that time. I don't think we had other applications. I wasn't on the board to know for sure, but that's what I've been told. And she is very highly qualified, and I believe she is trying to help us move forward. It sounded much more optimistic yesterday. I don't want to give everybody, too much of an exciting, thing, but at the same time, even the reduced standards of or shouldn't say reduced standards, but maybe the revised standards of recognizing who we are.
Yes, an actual assessment on what we are, and not a one size fits every county in the state sort of approach.
Exactly.
But to truly calculate what's going on in Yakima County, what needs to go on in Yakima County, and then maybe give us a little flexibility in terms of reaching those. Well, nobody's been a bigger lioness in pushing for this than you, Commissioner. So I know you got to feel at least a little bit of a good tingle knowing that that's out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, this has been, something I've been pushing for, fighting for. I am very concerned about our businesses. I'm getting calls, messages, as you know. I hear them. I feel their pain. Obviously, I'm a business owner too. I totally get it. I'm getting after it as much as I can. This is also a health emergency, and so we do have to listen to the doctor. And so I'm trying to balance safe and our economy. I'm staying in my lane, which is the economy lane, and pushing hard for that.
Do you feel it just doesn't seem like the governor is on the same page as the health officer?
Oh, I think he's going to be okay with us opening. I have heard him say that we need to have a pathway for Yakima.
Okay. Well, I hope so. I hope it's sooner than later too.
Again, we appreciate you recognizing the moment.
Yep.
People do need a little bit of hope, and that's a little bit of hope. Coupled with a couple of days of only double-digit, not triple-digit numbers. That's no lock-in on anything, but that's also a little bit of hope. So, we appreciate the call and the information and the continuing efforts on the county's behalf, Vicki. We really do.
Well, thank you guys too. We've got a lot of work to do to get through this, but we are doing all those things behind the scenes, working hard to check off, like I said, all those boxes. There's a lot of details we're working out, but the very instant we qualify, I want to be ready to hit the ground running, get everybody back opened up.
One last question. Had the governor not come over here, I mean, because there's been, I'm online defending you and all the rest of the elected leaders for, showing a class and restraint first, and we can rail and rancor later in terms of him coming over there. Do you feel that is significant in maybe starting this revised look at Yakima standards and needs?
I'm sure it helped to come back home and to see old places where, he loved to go out to Gasparetti's, and to hear about the businesses here and remember. I'm sure it helped.
Yeah.
And of course, we had appeals from all of our electeds here about because we're all getting our phone ringing off the hook about how dire the situation is here. I'm sure that it helped. And, there are other things that, we push for behind the scenes as well in those meetings. So, I think it helped.
Excellent. Vicki Baker, Yakima County Commissioner, thank you for your time and your information. We appreciate it.